There, this is Matt Taranto.
I'm Kathy.
We are live during the quarantine. We are very abiding by this, and I hope everybody is, and practicing our social distancing. I'm not practicing it for my wife, though. Thankfully, I
think we're safe with that.
Yes, but you know, during this time that we're closed, a lot of people are at home. We thought we would do a series of Facebook Live, Instagram Live, just to do some education, answer some questions about the aesthetic industry, talk about some of our most popular treatments here. Feel free, if you're watching this, to post some questions, and we'll just talk and kind of make this very casual and have some fun. But the topic today is BBL and Halo. And so BBL treatments and Halo treatments are two of our most popular treatments. And really, I've been doing this for 25 years. We've been doing this so long. I do think the best kind of laser light treatments that we have. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure. Yeah, I think I also love that we're doing our Facebook Lives during this time because it gives us a chance to actually get dressed.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've done my hair for the first time in a week or so.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm good. Okay. We're thinking about we should have some wine here and stuff.
I know. Maybe we should do it. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right. But anyway, so we want to talk about these two, and I'm going to give you some numbers, and this is not to brag. This is a fact. We're very fortunate here at Aesthetic Hair. We actually had the very first Halo laser ever developed. It was brought in here by Sciton, the manufacturer, and we did kind of the initial treatments, 75 of them on models to develop the protocols. And then with BBL, we also were one of the first back in 2006 to have a BBL system. And our clinic, fortunately, has actually done more Halos and BBL than literally any clinic in the world. So it's our favorite. And just to brag about my wife for a minute, she has been a laser trainer for how many years? 15 years?
Something like that, but I'm only 18.
That's
so
right.
I just
so
started,
she started. She's 3.
Hi, Melody. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Annie. I see you guys joining us.
So she has trained over, easily thousands of people in these treatments, and we are an international training center. So hopefully we know what we're doing here. But today I'm just going to kind of ask Kathy some questions, talk a little bit about the history of these treatments, what they do, and just, nice little fun little fireside chat. We should have a little pipe here and a fire going, but it'll be good. So first, let's talk about BBL. So BBL is just an acronym. It stands for broadband light. And IPL, intense pulse light, was actually the first thing developed in the late 90s. I used to kind of teach the very first system out there. And basically what they found is they could take selected wavelengths of light, not a true laser, it's a bulk of light, and they could choose those wavelengths based on an attraction, and mainly it was for reds and browns. And they figured out a way to really create a great treatment to go after sun damage, brown spots and things, and then vascularity. And I will tell you, it just worked great. It became the gold standard. But in 2006, Sciton basically created a better mousetrap, and they called it BBL, which is broadband light. IPL and BBL really are the same thing. BBL just happens to be a more advanced technology. It's faster, it's safer, it's more versatile, and that is what we utilize here, and we feel without a doubt it's the best system on the market. So tell people, when you talk about BBL, what are you talking about for the skin? What does this do for the skin?
Well, we had one question that came in. We had a client come in to Aesthetic Hair prior to us clothing, and she had come in for a chemical peel. And we just got a question from her, would broadband light or BBL be more beneficial to her? And I think that's one of the questions that we commonly get. Do I get a chemical peel? Do I get BBL? Do I get Halo? And I think the thing that BBL really excels at is treating things in our skin that make us look older that have to do with colors. So if you want to call it an age spot, a liver spot, a cherry angioma, anything that's brown or red in your skin that you weren't born with, that just makes us look older. And so BBL really excels at clearing that up. And there's no downtime with it, or what I don't really call it downtime, because there's no flaking or peeling or extra products you have to use during the week. It's such a simple procedure to have, and it just really changes the effects of the skin. It glows, the skin reflects light better, we look younger, and we're not having to cover up with makeup that one spot, multiple times a day because the spot's gone.
Well, a lot of people wish they only had one spot.
Well,
the thing that to me is fascinating with it is, for years, IPL and BBL was considered the gold standard for reds and browns. And it really was more the face. But now we do this all over the body. Tell them about your experience anywhere on the body.
Oh, definitely. I think it's always shocking. Well, I guess it shouldn't be shocking, but it's one of those things where we have a lot of clients that will come in and their skin is looking great here. And we need to do a better job of explaining, like, you can take that down the body. We don't want you to look 40 on your face or 30 on your face and 60 on your chest. And so this technology, BBL, can be used on the face, the neck, the chest, the arms, the hands. I've done full legs. In fact, I had a woman, she was from Florida, and she'd been in the sun so much over her lifetime that she would no longer go outside without black tights. So shorts, skirts, she'd always wear black tights because, I mean, the spots on her legs were so dark. And she went through a series of BBL treatments and she was back in shorts and skirts without tights. I mean, it's just that, it works that well.
Yeah, and I think a lot in our industry, when people walk in our door, a lot of people, this is what they're thinking of, the face. And yet a lot of the things we do on the face, we can do on the body. What's really impressive also about BBL is, again, it's the gold standard for a no downtime treatment for reds and brown. But there was a study done at Stanford University that was pretty incredible with Dr. Bitter and another 2 dermatologists did this study, because these derms believed, hey, this treatment is better than just for reds and browns. And so they did this study with people who got regular BBL, now we call this treatment Forever Young BBL, on a regular basis through a period of years. And the findings were amazing. Through punch biopsies and genetic mapping, they found that people who do regular BBL treatments, it literally causes the genetic expression in the cells of your skin to go backwards. So we joke around like we call it our Benjamin Button treatment. If you've ever seen that movie where Brad Pitt ages backwards. But it's really true. This is an anti-aging treatment as well as a red and brown treatment. And it's amazing what we can do. And I think we've got some pictures here. Hopefully you can see that it not only fixes or corrects those reds and browns, but that glow, the pores, the fine lines and wrinkles.
Those are some of my favorite.
You can see some of these.
Well, and you know, I think too, for me, I mean, I have rosacea. So rosacea is, you know, I have flushing and blushing. If I walk up 2 steps or 2 miles, I turn red. And so I love this treatment because it manages my rosacea. It manages those reds. It shuts them down any time throughout the year within a treatment or two. Once you've treated it, of course, initially, without having to take medication or use any type of special product. So I love it for that as well. But, you know, there's a number of different things that it can treat in the skin. I just wanted to get something more specific, like this one. This is such a great treatment. Oh, I'm not very good at this.
Hold that even closer. There you go. I'm trying. But I will tell you, on our website, greatskinkc.com, there's a ton of pictures. But, you know, it's so versatile. The thing, we don't do as many of them in the summertime because we really don't want to treat tan skin with BBL. We like your skin to be as close to the natural color as possible. This is a treatment for lighter skin all the way up to really kind of Hispanic skin, but darker skin types, this is not going to be effective for African Americans and Indians. That it just absorbs too much light. And people ask, well, why can't you treat dark skin? And I would say, well, think of a black street in the summertime. You can't walk on it with bare feet because it absorbs so much light. But a white sidewalk, you can walk fine. So the darker the skin, the more light it's going to absorb, and it can just get kind of dangerous and cause damage to that dark skin.
Right, and that's our #1 concern, is taking care of our clients and not having complications. Right, choosing the safe treatment.
So the difference is with IPL and BBL, we always talked about these treatments going after reds and browns. Forever Young BBL is utilizing the BBL device, but with a more advanced protocol. We do multiple passes and we vary the energy, the wavelengths, and it's all about, we really talk about the interpretation of light by cells. And the analogy that I always like is, if you think of a plant in Kansas City in January, and then you look at that same plant in July, it's totally different. Because as the days get stronger, the light is, you know, the days get longer, something happens. The plant's like, oh my God, something's going on. I'm going to turn green and I'm going to grow. And we know that's true for skin. The more light, the better light we can dump into the skin, the bigger change we're going to have. So, you know, Kathy, when you're doing a consultation, somebody comes in and they've got some pretty decent sun damage. What do you recommend normally about how many procedures it's going to take? And then what about maintenance?
So for me, when I'm doing a consultation, there's a number of things that we're looking for. You know, #1, what are the client's expectations? What would they like to see improved? And then obviously I want to put together the plan that's best for them, what I think is going to get them or yield them the best result. And so when I'm looking at the skin, I'm really looking at all the things that make us look older. So it's not just browns and reds, not just pigmentation or sunspots, not just rosacea or cherry angiomas, but it's fine lines and wrinkles and texture issues and pore size and all of that. And so, you know, if I have a younger client that comes in skin age of 30, late 30s into early 40s, that just really presents with colors, like just a lot of sun damage, not a lot of fine lines, wrinkles, or texture issues, I think a BBL, Forever Young BBL package is ideal for that person. You know, 3 treatments done once a month, generally for 3 to 5 months, based on their skin age and how much correction they need, and skin type. So that would specifically be for someone that's really their main concern, and what we see that's aging them are those sunspots. If we have somebody that comes in, on the other hand, they have a lot of wrinkles and texture, and they have large pores, but they don't have a lot of the pigmentation, browns or reds in their skin, I would talk to them about Halo, which I know we haven't talked about yet, but Halo is an excellent treatment for that. But my all-time favorite treatment to address all the things that make us look older, the pigmentation, the redness, the texture, the fine lines, and even mild scarring, is a combination of BBL and Halo. And sometimes it's just one of those, but generally I suggest 2, because I think, we always want to under promise and over, do better than we think we can. So.
Well, I think, we're always concerned, obviously, and our clients are, because these things cost money. What can fit their budget? And going back to that question, okay, do I do a chemical peel? Do I do BBL? Do I do Halo? These are all different price points. Our goal when you come for consult is present, here's the absolute best thing for you. And then let's find a way to mix, meet your financial, constraints. Now, the other thing with BBL that I find amazing is the fact that we have a treatment that reds, browns, pores, fine lines and wrinkles, reflectivity, even tension, and usually to maybe just a teeny bit of downtime. So how do you explain the downtime to people?
For BBL. So BBL, originally I used to tell them it was no downtime, and that was a mistake, because everyone considers downtime a little different. For someone that's been in the industry, I would have to be in some sort of special product or maybe some swelling or oozing or something like that for me to consider it downtime. But what I would tell you is BBL, any type of brown damage, sun damage that you have on your skin, it darkens. So it goes from maybe a light to medium brown to looking more like coffee ground color.
So it's going to look a little worse before it looks better.
Right. And so that comes up, it darkens about, within about 24 hours, and then takes about 7 days to come off on the face and 3 to 4 weeks on the body. But it's not like it peels or flakes. There's none of that. There's no special products you have to use. You just get out of the shower one day and your skin looks better.
And I think we've seen most people right after the treatment put makeup on and cover that.
Yeah, especially for redness, I think. But for somebody that has a lot of sun damage, maybe you're in your 50s or 60s, it comes up so much that even though there's really not a texture to it, it looks like a scabbing instead of a dot, 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 dot. And so for those people, I think they do consider it more of a downtime like of treatment. But again, it doesn't peel, it doesn't flake. You can cover it with makeup that day. And so it's still really easy. And the results are so amazing.
Yeah, and we see, I think the vast majority of people do not swell at all, but every once in a while we do get somebody who swells. Sure. And so in our consult, we're always going to be very honest about, hey, here's what we expect to happen, but here's the worst case scenario of downtime, so you can prepare for that. It's gotten so big for us. We have 3 different rooms in our clinic that have BBL machines, because it's that from towards the end of September to May, it's just one of our busiest treatments. Why don't you kind of show the handpiece? We've got the BBL handpiece here. Visual aids are always good.
Flying in handpiece.
There it is.
All right, so this is the BBL handpiece. This is what actually touches the skin, so it looks like a rectangle. It's a 15 by 45 rectangle. And when Matt's talking about different wavelengths or filters, what he's talking about is this little piece that we slide into the handpiece. And the cool thing about this is we can really tailor the treatment to their skin type or to the condition. So maybe it's you, for example. So you've had some recent sun.
Yes.
You didn't really, And so probably did a better job with your sunscreen.
I'm like the shoemaker's son with no shoes. We have access to all this, and I never get treated. But what's so funny is she's 92 years old, and look at her skin. I mean, that BBL, wow, that works. Yeah.
So let's say you came in, for example, and you've got some age spots, and you've got some redness in your skin, and you have a little breakout. And so the beauty of having these filters is that I can take the filters, change them based on the color of your skin when you walk in. So what we would call the Fitzpatrick Scale. And so I'd be able to choose a safe treatment for you. And I would be able to treat, the pigmentation in the skin with a 515 filter. I would put in a different filter to address rosacea or red spots in your skin. And then I would put in a different filter to address the active acne. And so within one treatment, you really can customize and treat browns in one area, reds in another area, active acne in another area.
No, she's pointing at me.
But no active acne. Or maybe even like a couple little hairs. 73% of women have facial hair. And so halo, you can even put in that filter and treat just the area that has hair in the same visit.
And that's unique about BBL too, the system, that we have filters that are also for hair removal. And so it really is a versatile tool. I would say, you know, it's so neat because when I first started teaching IPL back in the late 90s, it literally, one pass over your face would take me 90 minutes. It was a teeny little spot size, and you fired it once, and then it took like 8 to 10 seconds to fire a second time. Now, we thought back then, oh my God, this is cool, but we didn't know any better. We can do passes over your face with BBL in about 3 minutes. It's that fast, much safer, integrated cooling. But, you know, overall, I would agree. I think when anybody says, what is the absolute best aesthetic treatment ever been developed, when I say with little to minimal to no downtime, I think Forever Young BBL is it.
I agree, for sure.
And a lot of people ask about pricing. It will vary depending on the cosmetic zones. It could be as little as, you know, $100 for your hands. We do a lot of hands. A Forever Young BBL is $3.99 for the full face. We do have package discounts, but we'll do our best to make this fit the budget. But it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But so now what we want to talk about, we talked about BBL for a little bit, is Halo.
I was just replying to some of the fun people. Oh, hey, Erin.
We've got all kinds of fun people. Megan, Carrie. Yeah,
nice
hopefully you guys are all doing well. Maybe having a little glass of wine, a cocktail. You know, we should have all invested in liquor and alcohol companies because I've seen their stock go in toilet paper companies.
I don't know how those two things go together.
I know. Yeah, you never know. All right, let's talk Halo. So Halo, again, we had the first Halo device. It was fun, and we were playing a little mad scientist developing the protocols. But it really has turned in one of the treatments that's kind of a foundation of our clinic. Yeah,
well, to brag on our team too, we are the #1 in the country and actually even in the world
yes.
for the number of procedures done, which is huge. I mean, here we are in the middle of the United States, Kansas City, and our team has done more Halo treatments than anywhere in the world. Very proud of them.
It is, it's pretty amazing because the history of the fractional laser started in 2004 when a device called Fraxel came out. And the whole idea with the fractional laser is we know, and when people say, well, man, if money were no issue and pain were no issue and downtime were no issue, what treatment gives me the absolute best results? I think it always has been, it probably will be deep laser resurfacing. And that's where we take a laser and we literally remove the surface of your skin down to the depth of our choosing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And we love when we do it. I mean, it's really cool, but it's 2 weeks of looking really rough.
Right.
And so, but if someone said, well, I don't want to do that. Well, what would be the next best thing? I think it's Halo.
Definitely.
I think Halo allows us to give pretty amazing results with what I would call moderate downtime, not severe downtime.
I wish I would have brought my pictures of like the resurfacing treatment I had.
Yeah.
And then I had Halo because when we were looking at buying Halo, I was, you know, you're at a point where we have all this equipment, which costs a lot. Do we really need to invest in another technology when we get great results with what we had?
Right.
And I personally didn't get it until I had the treatment because I thought, you know, what I didn't get was how easy the downtime was going to be compared to the treatments we were doing
beforehand. Yes.
And yet the results are just as good, if not better, in some cases.
It really is technologically, it's amazing because the early fractional lasers used one wavelength. They used a dye on the face. You had to count the passes. It was very technique dependent. But the engineers at Cyton have developed this tool that, to be honest, the treatment itself is very easy to give. We have to choose the proper settings, but it's just this back and forth motion, and Kathy will show you the handpiece in a minute. Most people during the treatment describe the pain on a level of 1 to 10 to be a 3 or 4. The treatment itself is not very painful.
Well, and we also brought in Pronox.
Oh yeah, this is really fun. Oh my God, I'd like one by my bedside. So we have a device that delivers a very low dose of nitrous oxide, not as high as the dose as the dentists use, but man, does it make you relax. It is so funny. It's like, I can feel it, but I just don't care.
Exactly.
You know, it's just awesome. So we have that too. But you know, the thing is, a fractional laser basically treats a fraction of your skin. So think if you've ever seen your yard get aerated or a golf course get aerated, they put holes in it. They put holes in it so nutrients, oxygen, stuff can get down to the roots and make it grow faster. What we're doing to your skin is kind of the same. We're putting little microscopic holes. We're superheating microscopic holes because we can go to the depth where your body, an injury will cause a stimulation of your own collagen. So we're really telling your body, hey, something's happened, create collagen, make collagen. So explain a little bit how you do the treatment, how it works, things, all the fun stuff.
Okay, well, one of the questions I get asked often is, does it hurt? Which, you know, we do have Pronox. Matt mentioned that, which definitely helps. But we also have our clients come in an hour prior to the treatment. We put on a topical numbing cream. It's a very strong numbing cream. So again, that's another way that we're helping to minimize any discomfort. And so that's the first part of the treatment, is to numb the skin topically. We remove the numbing cream, and then the device, you actually use the device to measure each zone. So for example, example, if someone has some acne scarring in addition to wanting overall skin rejuvenation, we would measure the acne scarring here, and then the device measures the full surface area that we'll be treating. So you can really customize per patient, whether it's some acne scarring or deeper lines around the mouth or some lines around the eyes or the forehead, so that you can spot treat those areas in addition to treating full face.
Yeah, so you're not necessarily using the same settings on the full face.
Correct.
You may vary them depending on where the needs are.
Yeah, which is awesome. You can make it specific to each person that walks in, and you can vary that treatment. You know, the second treatment you come in for may be a little different because your skin's better, it's healthier, you don't have as much damage as you did the first time. So we can even adjust from visit to visit. So once we get started, the device is hooked up to a device that blows cold air. So it kind of gets noisy in the room, but that cold air, again, also helps with the numbing effect. Yeah. And then we also have a tube that we give the client to hold that also blows cold air. So it's kind of like putting ice on your ear when you were getting your ear pierced. It numbs the skin a little bit. Yeah. So the treatment itself takes about 20 to 30 minutes. It's really fast once the laser gets started, and the handpiece just kind of glides back and forth and up and down over the area.
You have the handpiece right there.
We do, but there's no tip on it.
That's okay.
We forgot the tip. But basically, it just rolls back and forth and up and down. The handpiece looks like this, and then you just treat zone by zone. So generally, once you've treated one zone, you move to the next, and you're finished with that zone. So I think the worst part of the treatment is right when we finish up, because it's hot.
The heat, yeah. You feel like you have a pretty good sunburn, and it's weird. Everyone's so different. We have people say, "Oh my God, that was a piece of cake," and other people say, "Man, for an hour, my face was on fire." But we use cold compresses and things like that. I yet have seen anybody saying, "I would not do that again."
Oh, I haven't either.
I mean, it's one, the results are so good.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, we have 2 different levels of halo, level 1, level 2, and we choose those based on the condition of your skin. What I tell people as far as downtime is expect 4 to 6 days of what we consider moderate downtime. And that would be about a third of the people don't get any swelling at all, but a third gets some swelling, and a third can swell significantly, and we can address that.
And I tend to swell. I mean, if I get bit by a mosquito, it swells up around the mosquito
bite. And some people
bite.
just are swellers.
And so if you tend to have that, if that happens to you, that reaction, then you know you're going to swell a little bit. And so to your point, like, we help them with that. We talk to them about ways to minimize the swelling. Or to plan for it.
And we and usually that only lasts 2 or 3 days. But your skin's going to feel rough. It's going to look a little red. It's going to feel like sandpaper. And then you don't peel, but it sloughs just over time. And I will tell you, most people tell you a week out, their skin's never looked better. It has this beautiful glow, like her glow. And then the neat thing is, because your skin is responding to this thermal injury, what we've done is we've created a long-term result. So you'll see immediate results. Your skin glows, the texture looks better. But at 2 months, at 4 months, even 6 months, you're going to see continued improvement. And we're very careful. That's why we're so good with photography. We're always going to take your picture before we treat you, and then show you exact photography through that healing cycle to show you, because sometimes when you look in the mirror every day, it's hard to see the changes.
Definitely.
So most of the time when we show somebody, well, here you are January, here you are in April, let's look, and they're like, oh my God, the changes are really significant.
Definitely. And I think one thing we haven't talked about, and I mentioned it earlier, is just combining the two.
Yes.
And when you combine BBL and Halo, you know, we called this skin school the ultimate glow. And I think if you were to ask any of our providers, they would tell you this is the ultimate treatment.
Best treatment we have.
Right. And anybody that asks you, wow, why does your skin look so great? Why is your skin glowing? You know, what did you do? And this is by far my favorite treatment for that glow, because it addresses so many different conditions or concerns in the skin within one visit.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty amazing for us, and we've been in this industry so long, to see the evolution of technology. What we can achieve now in 2020 is just day and night what we could do in 1998, 99. You know, our clinic opened in 2001. Even then, it's not only, it's better, it's safer, it's faster, less downtime, and there's just been better studies. It's very safe, because a lot of people will say, I don't know if I want to do a laser. What if it burns my skin? Or they go on, you know, the internet and see somebody who was burned horrifically. You know, that's normally user error.
Right.
And one thing that we're very proud of,
technology.
We're very proud of the level of training that we provide our staffs. We budget $60,000 a year every year for advanced training for our staff, and our staff is already incredibly well trained.
We're also an advanced training center.
We are a training center, but when you come here, you're not getting treated by somebody who got trained for a half day and they're off and running. I mean, we take this seriously, and we're not perfect. You are going to have a complication every once in a while, but it's pretty rare for us, and we're going to always take care of you. So we really appreciate all the people who are Look at this. Just so many people saying
So
hi.
fun.
I know a lot
I
of
was
those
trying
names.
to comment back, but I'm not doing a very good job. So
Okay. Well, you know, our goal during this shutdown, because we're going to be shut down to at least until April 23rd, is to do a couple of these every week. We're not going to make them long, just to kind of share some information. Hopefully you guys can enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can still, we're answering emails, we're returning voicemails. If you go to our website, there's a lot of information. One thing that we do want to tell everybody is we really want to show appreciation to the people who are not able to stay home. The doctors, the nurses, the med techs, the firefighters, the police officers who are out on the front line fighting this and being much more at risk. So if you go to our website, there's a link on the home front page where you can click and you can nominate somebody who you feel is going above and beyond, okay, during this time.
Mm-hmm.
And every week we're going to draw a winner out of that, you know, kind of look and see who's the most deserving. And when we reopen, they're going to get a very nice complimentary treatment, hydrofacial dermaplane combo. We will do that every week we're closed. And we know it's not huge, but we just want to get people on board with recognizing these amazing people out there.
Find a way to give back.
Yeah. And so we will be coming to you again, I believe, next Tuesday, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, with another little fun course. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Any last words of wisdom for all these wonderful people?
You know, I don't think so. I was just going to look to see, you know, you're welcome to send us questions, and with the next live event, you can ask questions along the way. Maybe we'll be a little bit better about answering them as we go.
During it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this was our first Facebook Live, so we're a little bit new at this that Kathy and I have done. We've done some as a clinic, but we sure miss our clients. We miss our staff. We love our staff.
We miss our team.
We can't wait till we all get back together soon, and we will come to you live from Skin Central at Aesthetic Care.